So the newcomer to the Royal Rumble will be Justin Morris in the 26. That's out of Penske Racing, and look at this, we got ourselves a nice 8-car pack here. Welcome everybody to part 2 of the Royal Rumble. Glad you are with us. Wow, Callum Wales getting awfully close to that, eliminating himself there through turn 4. There were 2 tires beneath the dotted white line. 2 right side tires were up on the racetrack, so he is really lucky right there. I don't know if he was forced down there or not, but my goodness, Callum cutting it awfully close right there. Robert Piet all over the back bumper of Justin Morris. I'm wanting to say Jonathan Morris, which is a former driver in one of my NNSCRA series, so I apologize if I do make mistakes on different names. I realized when I watched part 1, I kept calling Jeffrey Finguy Jeremy Finguy, and Callum again. What is he doing? Is he playing with fire there? Is he tempting fate? I wouldn't do that, especially in a race with the kind of rules and regulations here, which basically are nothing. There are no rules. There are no regulations. It's anything goes. Only rules are on elimination. And whoa, almost some contact there between the 20 and the 40. Rohit Vedaravu in the 20, Callum Wales in the 40. Things pretty settled down here. I think it would be... yeah, I think maybe the largest group of cars we've had at one time was 7, and now we've got 8. What would it be like if we had 9? That would be absolutely incredible. Drivers still in this, if you're just joining us here in part 2, are Callum Wales in the 40, Justin Morris in the 22, which we see right there, Timmy Moore in the 9, who nearly just eliminated Callum Wales, Magic RX, who's in the 18. The 27 is Connor Breton. The 6 is Robert Piet. Rohit Vedaravu in the 20. And Jake Cole in the 14. Those are the drivers that are in now. We have had several eliminations. 17 cars have come in. We got 8 still left, which means 9 cars have already been eliminated. And Jake Cole nearly became number 9 as he went beneath the yellow, almost went beneath the dotted white line there, but he did not, so he's still good to go. Actually, I meant to say that Jake Cole would be number 10, but another fail on my part. Magic RX continues to pace the field. He's been up at the front for most of the day, ever since he came into this event. The longest person to be in this so far is Connor Breton. Whoa, on the apron they go! Piet and Jake Cole. Oh no, there they go! Breton is gone! Justin Morris is gone. And Robert Piet is sliding. He's got to keep it on the side. Oh, no. He saved it. And I saw another car around. There's Connor Breton. There's Justin Morris. Was Callum Wales eliminated? Next entry's coming in. Let's go find out who it is. Tony Blazer in the 13 Ford. He's the new entry. As we still have ourselves a nice pack here of 7 cars. Whoa. Timmy Moore and Robert Piet got awfully close to each other. Now, Robert Piet and Callum Wales, the 6 and the 40, they're still running on the racetrack, but after that last incident, right at the closing stages of our last segment, both Connor Breton and Justin Morris were eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Robert Piet and Callum Wales, 2 incredible saves. We're going to look back at a replay of that right now. Take a look at this right here. Jake Cole and Robert Piet make contact. Jake Cole saves it. And watch right here. There goes Connor Breton. He's eliminated. Justin Morris is eliminated right after coming in entry number 17. And look at Callum Wales. Wales saved it. Look at that. He did a whole 360 and turned it right back around. And how about Robert Piet? Spinning, but his car, watch where it comes to rest. In this event, if your car is still running and you have not crossed over into the out-of-bounds area, you are not eliminated. And Piet clearly is still under power when he's trying to get his car turned around right here. And notice, he's got 3 tires on the correct side of the yellow line, so Piet's still in it, but Connor Breton and Justin Morris, they were eliminated after this. But Callum Wales, we're going to look at him one more time. going 250 miles an hour. How did Callum Wales figure out how to do this? Watch this. Look at that. He was still going 180 when he got his foot back into the throttle. That's got to be one of the best saves of the day right there. Callum Wales spinning that thing around, never even got close to being eliminated. Certainly some incredible saves going on here in the Royal Rumble. Oh! Magic RX is gone! He just got forced into the out-of-bounds area by Tony Blazer. Now, since there was no contact, Tony Blazer will not get credited with the elimination. Instead, Magic RX is going to get credited with eliminating himself. I'm a little surprised at that right there. I mean, it's anything goes. So why didn't Magic RX let the 13 come down into him and maybe eliminate the 13? That's my question. So basically at this point, whoa, Robert Piatti saved it. Whoa, and Callum Wales covering 3 whole lines of track right there. So basically right now we have 6 cars who are in the running right now, but the 18 car is not invisible. It is there, and he's trying to take out Timmy Moore with him. This is legal. No disqualifications until you are put back in the garage area. Magic RX is at liberty to try and eliminate any other drivers here in the Royal Rumble. And he almost got Timmy Moore out. Magic RX eliminated from this event. Let's quickly look back and see how he got beneath the dotted white line. We'll take a little look-see here off of turn 4. Oh, he tried going to the inside of Tony Blazer, and Blazer just forced him there, and you can see clearly that all 4 tires are beneath that dotted white line. What a tough break for Magic RX. Just basically got forced down there. And quite honestly, I think he would have been eliminated whether or not he made contact with the 13 or not. Just a poor move right there that kind of cost him. He could have backed off or something, but he didn't want to. He tried to make it a 4-wide move there, and it cost him, as Magic RX is now eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Well, a tough break for Magic RX, but that's bad news for everybody else. That means that Magic RX cannot be disqualified if he takes out anybody else here in this segment. And there he does it right there! He turns Jake Cole, and Rohit Vedarvu is eliminated as well. Next entry coming in, we'll look back at a replay soon. Well, joining the Royal Rumble in spot number 19, that is Trent Dunham. As Dunham is in the 31 here, the Caterpillar Chevrolet. Let's take a quick look at a replay of what took out 3 of our contenders at the very tail end of the last segment. Now, Magic RX had been eliminated from the Royal Rumble, but that meant there was no disqualifications from him trying to eliminate anybody else. And Jake Cole right there, all 4 tires indeed beneath the yellow line. And watch how they come up into Rohit Vedarvu. Remember, we told you there are no teammates here. And that's shown right there as Magic RX takes out the 20 as well of Rohit Vedarvu. A tough break there for both Jake Cole and Rohit Vedarvu, as well as Magic RX taking out his frustration. And wow, look at right there. Oh, look at the hits. Those cars got airborne. You can see them up at the top of the grandstands. How high are those grandstands? Wow. Those cars must have gotten a lot of air. Let's go back live. 3 more eliminations in the last segment. Who's going to get eliminated here in this segment? So a tough break there. 2 Toyotas and a Chevy taken out of this thing. And we were just talking in the last segment about how Jake Cole did a great job saving his race car from elimination at the tail end of the segment before that. Well, Trent Dunham's running here at the back of this pack. Not often we see Trent Dunham outside of his familiar number 1, but he's here with the Richard Childress ride, Caterpillar on the hood. And what was suddenly an 8-car pack suddenly became a 7-car pack, then became 6, and now 5. As these drivers seem to be more and more keen on eliminations here as we draw even closer to that lucky driver who drew number 40. If you just joined us for part 2 and you don't know what's going down here, each driver's coming in here at regularly scheduled intervals of 3 minutes apiece. These numbers that these drivers are coming in were numbers that were drawn before this race even began. Trent! Wow, he got awfully close there. He's still in, though. These drivers' main goal are to try to eliminate each other before entry number 40 comes in. 3 minutes after entry number 40 comes in, then it will be... Yikes, that was close. Then it will be a 10-lap... Whoa! Trent bouncing off of somebody. I couldn't tell if that was the Ford of Piet or the Ford of Moore, but whichever, he bounced off somebody. Good save there by the 31. There'll be a 10-lap shootout, and whoever is still left will race it there. Oh, no, Trent Dunham will not be one of them. Neither will Piet. Neither will Timmy Moore. Oh, look at those cars. This way and that way, end over end. And Tony Blazer, I don't know if he saved his car or not. We're getting close to our next entry, which will be entry number 20. We are now halfway through this thing. Oh, Callum Wales! What happened to Callum Wales? Next entry coming up right now. And so Matthew Rodriguez, we have now reached the halfway point here for the entries as Matt Rod drew number 20. Now Matthew Rodriguez, Tony Blazer, they're now in a one-on-one situation after 4 of the drivers who were there in that 5-car pack in our previous segment were taken out. Let's look back at a replay of what happened in that wreck. Here's a look at what happened. Timmy Moore is going to get into Robert Piet here. He's going to hook him right there in the left rear quarter panel. And what a tough break for Trent Dunham. He had just entered the Royal Rumble, and he gets taken out here as an innocent victim. Both elimination of Robert Piet and Trent Dunham will go to Timmy Moore. So those cars are going to go flying. They're eliminated from this. But Callum Wales, well, there he is going over the edge. What happened to him? Oh, look at this. When everybody else wrecked, his car snaps loose, gets onto the apron. At this point, he is still in the rumble. Look at that car. That car sliding on its side here at a banked racetrack. And unfortunately, this is 1/360 he just cannot pull off. He pulled off a great save before, couldn't do it this time. Right there is the elimination of the Aaron's number 40 Toyota. So just like that, we went from a 5-car pack to only 1 car, Tony Blazer, getting ready now to face off against our next entry. And of course, that entry is Matthew Rodriguez, my memory failing me at that point. Oh, he's trying to eliminate Tony Blazer right there. Can't quite do it. You know, I've noticed something. I don't know if it's just a theory or if it's actually the case, but it seems like these drivers are having a tough time eliminating each other if they don't have someone lined up behind them. Something like the cars can't suck up to the back of the other car right up against them in order to turn them without some other car behind them pushing them. So in these one-on-one situations, as we see here with Matthew Rodriguez and Tony Blazer, it seems like these two are basically only in a feeling out process rather than in elimination mode. You know, if these two can survive after lucky number 40s entered the racetrack and those 3 minutes are up and the 10-lap segment takes place, who knows? These guys may end up being the two that come down to the checkers against each other, and they're going to want to know the ins and outs of their opponents, just in case it is going to be those two who are going to battle it out for the win in the Royal Rumble. 30 seconds away from entry number 21 as we prepare to enter into the second half of these entries, who will join Matthew Rodriguez and Tony Blazer here in the Royal Rumble. We're going to be slowly but steadily building up to another large pack of cars, we hope. Highest we've been to was 8. We need 6 entries and 6 segments of these guys staying out of trouble. But you know what? As the end of this event draws near, the more antsy and the more anxious these guys get. Here's entry number 21. Ralph Mason will start off the second half of our entries. The number 1 Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boats Chevrolet. Entry number 21. Joining Matthew Rodriguez and Tony Blazer. Ralph Mason in a very good spot, but when you think about the fact that there are 19 more drivers coming onto the racetrack, his chances are not nearly as good as a driver who may have drawn number 35 or 38 or especially number 40. There's a lot of questions going through the heads of a lot of those later drivers because we've seen that these drivers are aggressive no matter how many cars are on the racetrack. Would it be possible that a guy who drove number 38 or 39 or even the number 40 spot could be eliminated before the 10-lap segment begins? That is an interesting question, and that's one that we will not know until we get to the end of this event. But before we were doing the count up basically to number 20, now we're beginning the count down before we get to number 40. We got 19 more entries to go. Then entry number 40 comes in, 3-minute segment at that point, and right after that, a 10-lap shootout. Oh! Wow, Ralph Mason was right there on the back bumper of the 33, poised in the perfect spot to be able to turn the 33. And I think that's only possible because the Geico Ford was behind him. My theory seems to be correct, that in order for another driver to get up there close enough to be able to eliminate an opponent, they need another opponent behind them, giving them a push and enough speed to get right up there. See these cars fanning out here 3 wide? I'll tell you exactly why they're doing that. These cars are not invincible. They still can have internal things happen. We have not yet seen any driver be eliminated due to an engine problem or an electrical problem or a mechanical problem, but yet these cars, these engines, they run awfully hot when they're up against another car, like we've seen them be all race long, which seems the only way for an elimination. So they have to fan out like they did there in that 3-wide formation in order to get those engines cooled down. Because if your engine overheats and your engine blows, you can't move anywhere. You will have to come to pit road, and in doing that, you end up crossing beneath that dotted white line, which thus, according to the Royal Rumble rules, eliminates you from the Royal Rumble win. This has been a rather calm and peaceful segment as opposed to the other segments we've recently had, but it's going to start to get good. Here comes entry number 22 into the Royal Rumble. And it will be William Duncan in the 32. Taking here, and contact, there they go! Oh, I think Ralph Mason saved it, but there goes William Duncan, there goes Tony Blazer, they're eliminated. Now the question is, it was too fast for me to notice, is Ralph Mason gone, or did he save his car? We're going to have to find out. Let's look at a replay real quickly here. Tony Blazer and William Duncan, who was just in this thing for mere seconds, however, getting a report that he did not beat Preston Plowett's record of only 7 seconds in the Royal Rumble, but still, he is eliminated along with Tony Blazer. Let's look back at a quick replay. Well, it's certain that William Duncan and Tony Blazer are gone, but the big question is Ralph Mason eliminated? Watch here. Oh, he got the 32 really, really loose, and then the 32's speed scrubs off. He gets back into the 32. 32 up and on his side, and oh, Mason! What a save! Duncan made contact with his left rear, turned the 1. He went into a slide, did Ralph Mason, and somehow he brought that thing back around and kept it on the racetrack, but a tough break for both Tony Blazer. Oh, man, that's roof first that he went. Where's William Duncan? There's William. Looks like his car was able to... Oh, nope, he spins out there. That car is heavily damaged, that silver paint scheme of the 32. Let's go back to live action. We've got 2 more eliminations, joining several others here in the Royal Rumble. So that wreck ended up allowing Matthew Rodriguez to basically just drive away from all that, so he's running all by himself, which means it's pretty likely he's going to make it into the next segment. Ralph Mason also is continued on, but he's a long ways back, and as we saw there in the replay, he is still in the Royal Rumble. You know, a lot of drivers here, they're going to be mad at other drivers and everything, but hey, these are the rules. You run the risk of this when you enter the Royal Rumble. Obviously, if someone wrecks you, it's their fault, but that's how this thing goes down. It's survival of the fittest, last man standing, and no rules and regulations to say otherwise. 1 more minute remaining before our next driver will enter in. Entry number 23 will be entering. So far, 23 entries, 21 of them, I'm sorry, not 23 entries, 22 entries, and 20 of them have already been eliminated. The only 2 left are Matthew Rodriguez, who entered in at number 20, and Ralph Mason, who entered in at number 21. Let's jump back here real quick, see if Ralph Mason's still there. Yes, he is. If Ralph Mason had come to pit road for the damage he sustained there after bouncing into both William Duncan and Tony Blazer, he would have been disqualified and thus eliminated himself from the Royal Rumble. So a good thing he's staying out, damaged car or not. About 10 seconds remaining before we're going to find out entry number 23. We're getting close to entry number 30, which would give us only 10 entries to go. Entry number 3 coming up. Let's look at the introduction. The Ford of Charles Jackson joins the Royal Rumble here in entry number 23. And contact, look out! Whoa! Oh no! Jackson's taken out! So is Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez goes airborne! Jackson, airborne! Whoa, what? What? Oh, look at that. Oh, Charles Jackson getting a massage from Matthew Rodriguez. What? Oh, man. And just like that, Ralph Mason's the only guy left. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to really quickly look at a replay of what happened to Matthew Rodriguez and Charles Jackson, who have both been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. And then we're going to introduce the next entry due to the fact that Ralph Mason would just be running around with no competitor. So here's a look at the replay of what happened to Matt Rod and Charles Jackson, entries 21 and 23. Just take a look at how close these guys were running off of turn number 4. And there's going to be some contact right there. Jackson gets into Rodriguez, and clearly both of them are beneath that dotted white line. There's no doubt about it. They were beneath the yellow line when they got to the tri-oval. Now watch right here. We've got a little bit of a banking area here. Matt Rod hits it, and he's going to go up the racetrack and go flying off. Jackson, exact same thing. Look at that. Wow. You see that little ditch right there? That makes it tough for these drivers, and there he goes. Flying off there, and luckily that car landed on all 4 wheels. Matt Rod not so lucky. But I love this right here. Watch the 33 come and just roll right over the 16. Right about here. Good kitty. Nice kitty. Pet the kitty. Okay, this is getting a little awkward. Alright, next entry. Entry number 24 getting ready to come into battle with Ralph Mason. Who's it going to be? And I believe I said entry number 23. For that, I apologize. It's actually entry number 24. Eric Burton in the 21 car. Now set to take to the Royal Rumble. His adversary going to be Ralph Mason. Mason's been in since number 22. So numbers 22 and 24 going at it. 21's going to go down to the inside. That's Eric Burton. Now Burton Obviously not afraid to start getting aggressive here early due to the fact it's just him and Ralph Mason rather than a huge big pack of cars. And here's Ralph Mason go to the inside. Looks like again with only 2 cars here, we're back to a feeling out process rather than an elimination mode. Which is not exactly all that exciting, I understand that, but these drivers, there's so much strategy that has to be played out here. So many questions going through these guys' minds. Do I want to turn this guy? Would I get eliminated myself if I turn this guy? What's the best way to avoid the elimination that this guy might try and do to me? Because he's right up against my back bumper. Should I go into an elimination mode? Should I not be in an elimination mode? Instead, try and figure out what this guy could do if it was him and me in the final 10-lap segment. And all these questions are going through their minds between 240 and 260 miles an hour. So now, if you're not exactly doing something exciting in that way, then I don't exactly know what your definition of excitement is, because these guys, they have to be thinking of all those things almost at the speed of which their cars are going, because they have to make a move on a dime. Right now, if we were giving out awards for different people, I'd say there'd be a split between Timmy Moore and Connor Breton so far for the most saves. Callum Wales, I would have to say, has the best save after he did the 360 at somewhere between 180 and 200 miles an hour on the front stretch and still kept his car in the Royal Rumble. Of course, all 3 of those drivers, along with 22 others, have been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. All that are left are entries 22 and 24, Ralph Mason and Eric Burton, which you see here. And then, of course, entries 25 through 40, which have yet to be announced, but we are about 30 seconds away from having entry number 25 announced. Also want to let you guys know, I may be getting an external microphone, so it may make the commentary a little bit better and everything. You'll be able to hear the car sounds, etc. But we're going to have to see how that goes, as we are nearing the 10-second mark before we're going to find out entry number 25. That'll leave us 5 cars away from reaching number 30 when we'll have the countdown from 10 cars to 40. Here's entry number 25. And entry number 25 will be the 5, Cole Freilich, entering here into the fray. As he and Eric Burton and Ralph Mason all getting here huddled up. Have to see if with 3 cars they're going to start going now into elimination mode, or will they still be in the feeling out mode. Cole Freilich going to the back here. We've seen some drivers go right straight to the front. We've seen other drivers go to the back whenever they have just entered into this thing. Kind of getting their courage up, getting the butterflies out of their stomach, and then facing forward, punching that throttle, and going to work. And Cole Freilich's trying to go to work on Ralph Mason. Oh, man, I thought he had him there off turn 4, but not quite. Mason has been in this since number 22. He's been in it for 3 segments now, actually 4, including his segment. Currently, of drivers on the racetrack, the driver in this event the longest. I believe the driver right now who has the record for being in this Royal Rumble for the longest amount of time was Connor Breton, but he has since been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. I believe it was somewhere around entry number 17 that Connor Breton's hopes of winning this event went up in smoke. Whoa, 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 Eric Burton! Oh, man. How Cole Freilich fought off Eric Burton right there, I'm not exactly sure. Burton had that well executed, just couldn't deliver. He nearly had Cole Freilich have a little hello goodbye here in the Royal Rumble, but Freilich hangs tough. We still have these 3 cars that started this segment running here and are still in contention. Oh, man! But Eric Burton wants Cole Freilich gone. It's the second time this lap he's tried to eliminate the 5. Ralph Mason still continues to stay out ahead of these guys, kind of like, alright, you guys have at it, I'm just going to stick back here. Whoa! 2 tires on the yellow line for Eric Burton. But that's still okay, just as long as all 4 tires are not beneath that yellow line. Whoa, Burton right there, kind of coming up to Ralph Mason. That could have been problems. But Eric thinks a little bit better of it. Now, how do you decide these kind of things? I mean, you saw Burton right there. How do you decide in the blink of an eye, I want to wreck him? No, I don't. I mean, how do you jerk that wheel to the right and then straight right back to the left without losing that car? Could be because of the high speeds. I mean, obviously when you're at a higher speed, it's easier to direct your car. But here comes entry number 26. We're getting ready to build up this pack one more time. The 24 of Brian James. That will be entry number 26 here. Whoa, Eric Burton again. Man, oh man. Eric Burton just has one goal, eliminate the 5. But there's Brian James way at the back there. Again, that strategy playing out for the new entries. Go to the back and wait, and then when you feel comfortable, come up to the front. I feel like I'm reiterating myself, but it just is an interesting pattern that these drivers use. And look at Cole Fralick. He's now saying to Eric Burton, if you're going to eliminate me, you got to catch me. He's starting to try and pull away from these guys. But this is a restrictor plate track. I don't think there's going to be any pulling away. Ralph Mason now looking like he might go on to the attack mode on Eric Burton. Look at how he's tucked right up against the back of the 21. Whoa. Contact right there. That may have been a little bit of payback for the fake-out move Burton put on Mason in the last segment. And, ooh, Mason, I don't think, knew that Brian James was there. James now starting to forge into this. Starting to become a contender here to try and maybe stack up some eliminations. Eric Burton, though, he's starting to close the gap up on Cole Fralick. That's got to be the best battle I've seen between cars for a while. Eric Burton just targeting that 5 car. Now remember, the 5 and the 24, they are both out of Hendrick Motorsports, but in this event there are no teammates, so it's very likely you'll see Brian James eliminate Cole Fralick or vice versa without any show of remorse. That's how this thing goes down. You eliminate your opponent, and there goes Brian James and Eric Burton. First time today I think we've seen drivers eliminate each other on the back straightaway. And so now Brian James and Eric Burton, they're still on the racetrack, but they are gone as far as their entries and their qualifications still in the Royal Rumble. Cole Fralick's going to be awfully happy to know that Eric Burton's gone. So out of these 4 cars, the only 2 drivers who are really still in the Royal Rumble at this point are Cole Fralick in the 5 and Ralph Mason in the 20, or Ralph Mason in the 1 rather. Oh! Man, Mason, what are you doing? I don't know if he knows that Brian James is already eliminated, but Mason nearly took himself and Brian James out. That would have left Cole Fralick all alone, which I'm sure he wouldn't have minded. Oh, more contact, Mason! My goodness, what is he doing? Does he know yet that the 24 is gone? I don't know if he does or not, but it's twice he nearly eliminated himself. Now we've got 2 more eliminations, Brian James and Eric Burton. We basically don't have to look at a replay because we saw it in live time. Here comes entry number 27. The Toyota of Riley Ogle is entry number 27, as he is the first Toyota we've seen in quite a while, and he just nearly had a hello goodbye. Man, Fralick, Mason, Ogle, how did all 3 of those drivers save it? I don't think we've had an area yet where all drivers have been eliminated in one segment, and we just nearly had it right there. And as I was saying before they all started getting all squirmy there and nearly giving me a heart attack, Ryan Ogle First Toyota we've seen in a while since Magic RX took out himself and Rohit Vedaravu. We got 3 cars right now still in this thing. Last 2 eliminations were Brian James and Eric Burton. I'm actually trying to get word on who the elimination goes to, and with what the information I'm getting, it's sounding like Brian James is going to get credit for eliminating Eric Burton and himself. The former, I'm sure he'll be pleased with. The latter, not so much. Riley Ogle is in entry number 27. Right now, entry number 22, Ralph Mason, has been in this the longest of these active drivers. Trying to think here. If you'll just give me a second, I'll think here. I believe that Connor Breton was entry number 8. He lasted till segment number 19, which means he lasted for 11 segments. In order for Ralph Mason to pass Connor Breton, he would have to last until entry number 34 entered onto the track. Which means he's 7 entries away from holding the record for being in the Royal Rumble the longest, surpassing Connor Breton, but that's easier said than done, especially in a race like this. My goodness, these segments, they just fly by. We've got less than a minute till entry number 28 will be coming in. We are 3 entries away from the top 10 countdown until entry number 40, and then that 10-lap segment to finish this event off. Riley Ogle, Ralph Mason, Cole Fralick. Will they last till then? Is it possible? We're going to find out very, very soon. We are also going to find out now. Well, not now. I thought we were getting closer to the 10-minute mark, but not quite yet. We still got about 20 seconds. Tell you what, these 3 are not looking nearly as aggressive as Cole Fralick, Eric Burton, and Ralph Mason were looking 2 segments ago. Okay, here we go. We're getting ready now to find out entry number 28 into the Royal Rumble. Here he is. Well, how ironic is that? The 83 and the 93 both come out of Burger King Racing, and they come in entries 27 and 28. AJ McGinnis, entry number 28 in the dark gray Burger King paint scheme, as Riley Ogle, who is not his teammate. Those rides do come out of the same stable, but they are not teammates in this event. Ogle will go up to the front here. As I said, with you possibly seeing Brian James turning Cole Fralick earlier, you may see the same here with AJ McGinnis turning Riley Ogle, or vice versa. No friends, no teammates, just you, yourself, and you. I guess that's how it goes. Anyway, I've never done that kind of a saying in the second person or the third person, so whatever. And as we watch this battle of eliminations, we're also watching the battle of Ralph Mason versus Connor Breton. Talked about it during the last segment. Magic number is now 6 for Ralph Mason. If he can last 6 more segments, he will then hold the record for longest amount of time in the Royal Rumble. Connor Breton currently holds it. Whoa, 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 Mason! He saved it! And they're wrecking ahead! And Mason's all alone! Ogle's gone, McGinnis is gone, and Cole Fralick is gone, after Ralph Mason made an incredible save right there. Woo! Wasn't that close? Let's look back at a replay of what happened to the other 3, and then we got to find ourselves a new opponent, entry number 29 for Ralph Mason. Well, we watched Ralph Mason make that amazing save, but we didn't see what happened up ahead of him. Right there's Mason on the apron, shoots straight up the track, and how he kept that car from going over the edge, I'm not sure. Oh, there's the contact. At this point, all 3 cars are still okay. At this point, not so good. All 3 eliminated. And just when we were starting to build up a pack of cars one more time, 3 out of the 4 are gone. Freilich, AJ McGinnis, and Riley Ogle all eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Ralph Mason's by himself. Let's find out now. Entry number 29, his new opponent.
From the depths of hell, some power of hell, a deal made with the devil. After all the dust that's settled, there's an hourglass of time, counting down on the body.
Well, here's Alex Tanker in the 99. Entry number 29 here. He and Ralph Mason going to be racing it out here. Mason going to try and eliminate Alex Tanker right here. Look at him. He's in the spot he wants to be. Oh, slingshot move. Mason, who I can't believe was able to keep his car from going over the edge, was not only able to save his car, but also kept his car away from those other 3, the 83, the 93, and the 5, all spinning up to the high side of the racetrack. Now Mason going down to the inside. His magic number has now moved to 5 before he has beaten Connor Breton for longest time here in the Royal Rumble, and he would solidify that with the fact that there is no possibility for any other driver by time, if Ralph Mason reaches that milestone, nobody else would be able to beat it because there aren't 12 segments left after that. I think after that there would be, oh, let's see, this is entry number 29, 34, there would only be 6 segments left, so there's no way anybody would be able to beat Ralph Mason if he makes it to that milestone. We still don't know if he will be able to do it yet or not. So far, Alex Tanker, entry number 29, 2 cars left, 27 came and went. Now, Karma is not on the side of Alex Tanker due to the fact that that is a Roush Fenway ride. During this race, 2 Roush Fenway cars have already taken to the track. Robert Piet and Charles Jackson both have already been eliminated. So, Alex Tanker, you gotta wonder if that's going through his head or not, but you never know. He's all over the back bumper of Ralph Mason, but really, you can tell a difference between aggressive racing. You can tell the difference between aggressive racing and feeling out process. And right here, you can tell there is no aggressive racing, no elimination on the mind of these 2 drivers right now. They're just kind of feeling each other out. Who knows? Maybe they're working together. Maybe they're making an alliance. I mean, I don't think in this kind of a race that's something that happens, but you never know. More surprising things have happened. Speaking of surprising, we got less than 30 seconds till entry number 30, and then the 10-car countdown begins down to that crucial number 40. When we get our next entry, we will have 30 more minutes until that 10-lap shootout. And we will find out number 30 right now. Entry number 30 will be none other than the 98 of Sean Henley. Henley coming in here. He has 10 segments to survive before the final segment. And Ralph Mason has only 4 more segments to go before he surpasses Connor Breton for the longest amount of time in this Royal Rumble. Now Henley ended up replacing Seth Cole as a last-minute replacement, and we'll see what Henley can do here in the number 98. Whoa, making some contact back there. 99 does not look like he's got good handling on that car right now. But it looks like they're going to keep it together. They're going to go 2 wide behind the K-Love Ford of Sean Henley. Henley entry number 30. Alex Tanker in the 99, entry number 29. Ralph Mason, entry number 22. Oh, and there goes Mason! And Alex Tanker! I believe I saw... Oh, Mason. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, wow. Well, that solidifies it. Connor Breton is going to be the guy who's in the longest. Mason was not able to hold on. He got dumped by Alex Tanker, and I think Tanker may have eliminated himself, so Tanker is out of this thing. And Sean Henley is left all by himself. What a beautiful scenario that is. Let's look back at a replay of what happened to the 99 and the one of Ralph Mason. Here's going to be the contact right here. And you can clearly see that the 99 was beneath the yellow line as well. And what a tough break for Ralph Mason. That car is just going to go sliding up the racetrack. He can't save it this time. It does go over the edge. Tanker saved his, but not really much point. He's eliminated anyway. And look at the air that one car is. Oh my god. We gotta go back and look at this one more time here. I mean, it's not nice to make fun of somebody's misfortune, but it just kind of looks funny from one camera angle here, so I'm gonna have to look at it. But wow, that's a tough break for Ralph Mason. He was so close to surpassing Connor Breton, but we'll look at another replay from a different camera angle. Watch right here one more time. The contact between Ralph Mason and Alex Tanker. Oh man, I think the one may have gotten loose in front of the 99. That's what it all looked like to me. But just look at this camera angle. If you can see the dot, which is the Tracker Boat's Chevy in this next shot, look at him. You can just barely see him. He looks like a helicopter. And look at the car just start going down and down and down. You just barely see him, and then he fades off into the distance. But man, what a tough break for Ralph Mason. And Alex Tanker's eliminated. Well, Sean Henley all by himself. We're going to find out his next opponent in Part 3. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed this segment. Henley, along with 10 other competitors, get ready to battle it out for the win in the Royal Rumble. Who is in spots 31 through 40? We'll find out. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. You've been watching the NNSCRA Royal Rumble.